So, Nukawa is chilling at Mount Buzhou, about to take her final form, when suddenly, some random transmigrator's soul pulls up out of nowhere. The dude decides to speedrun the ultimate villain arc by body-snatching her brother, Fuxi. In the OG plot, they're supposed to be the ultimate sibling duo, grinding the Great Daluo together and hitting that endgame Hunyuan Daluo rank. But this absolute clown of a transmigrator totally underestimated how much Nukawa simps for her brother. So, Nüwa does the logical thing. She obliterates his soul and instantly uploads all his memories into her brain like a data download. Turns out, this guy fell into the primordial world through some pure, cringe-worthy plot armor. He had a system, basically his own personal cheat code, that let him possess Fuxi. Fuxi hadn't even fully morphed yet. He was mid-transformation. And Nüwa? She didn't even notice the body swap at first. Talk about a major L. Now this system, inside the memory of Wang Shu, was supposed to be his golden ticket to god-tier status. It was basically a pay-to-win mod that gave him free cultivation boosts and legendary loot drops. But what actually shook Nüwa to her core wasn't the system hack it, was the fact that Wang Shu's world had primordial novels that basically spoiled the entire history of her reality. The stories were all over the place, but the meta-narrative was always the same. Pangu splits the sky, beast catastrophes, the Dragon Phoenix War, the Witch Demon beef, the investiture of the gods, and the journey to the west. Basically, the whole timeline is just these 6 major catastrophe events on repeat. If this world was actually running on that script, Nüwa just secured the ultimate insider trading info. She got the whole server map now. Then she sees her own fate in the books. Every single fanfic says she's destined to be a saint. Cool, right? Wrong. She's livid because these authors completely assassinated her character. One book says her gourd vine and 9 heaven soil, the stuff she used to create humanity, got yoinked by a transmigrator before she could even use them. Then he spends the whole book blackmailing her. He doesn't just steal her creation merit points, he even tries to finesse her body. Total cringe. Another story claims Fuxi got hijacked, and then the guy tries to romance his own sister. Brother-sister shippers are the worst, and some books even paint her as a down-bad simp. Like the transmigrator teaches her how to create humans to become a saint, just so he can split her merit reward and make her fall for his mediocre self. Absolutely not. But wait. It gets even more unhinged. Some writers have the transmigrator literally stepping on Nuskawa to climb the ranks. He's out here lecturing her, calling her a deadbeat mom for not stopping the carnage, ignoring the fact that the demon clan was literally speedrunning the mass extinction of her humans to craft witch-slaying swords. Then, the MC swoops in to save the humans from the chaos he basically let happen. He farms the humans for faith points and influence. He literally swipes all of Nutawa's human race luck and calls it a day. Absolute fraud behavior. Other books just make her an NPC background character with 0 screen time. They label her the weakest of the 6 saints. But Nukawa isn't stressing. She's already locked in, calm as ever, and ready to rewrite the meta. Nukawa's only at the Taiyi Golden Immortal rank right now. No clue what the future holds, but she's 100% sure about 2 things. If she's actually gonna manifest the human race, then she's not leaving her own creations to get clapped by the world. No cap. Second, she's absolutely not becoming anyone's Deo partner. Not happening. Any existence trying to reach sainthood is chasing that eternal, supreme grind. If that's really my fate, bet. I'll just pull a reverse card on heaven itself. Nüwa stares into the void, eyes looking deep as hell, whispering to herself before locking in on that weird energy, a cheat code interface she calls the system. It's low-key glitching, on the verge of deletion, so it triggers an emergency save-my-life protocol. Greetings to the future saint, Nüwa. I am the god-tier choice system. Every decision you make earns you insane loot. Plus, you get direct access to the multiverse chat group. I'm literally built to help you carry the whole server, goddesses. Please consider the offer, even in this life-or-death crisis. The system drones on with that robotic, zero-aura voice, sounding exactly like some basic software from Blue Planet, clearly lacking any real personality or vibes. Nüwa's like, you think I'm some naive NPC from Blue Planet? Your origin is sus, your backers are invisible, and your motives are straight up mid. You really think I'm gonna use you? Besides, my Dapio doesn't need any external hacks to thrive. After scanning through Wang Shu's memories, her entire persona just did a glow-up. She knows she's destined for sainthood and the WA palace, so she's already claiming that Bengong energy. Nusawa knows real power comes from the grind, not from some rigged external buff. If you just rely on handouts, you're never hitting the peak of the Dago. Period. Those MCs in typical cultivation novels? Just relying on systems to flex on everyone? Nutawa ain't buying it. A system that tells you what to do? That's just a soulless bot with no ego or spirit. How could that ever reach the top of the food chain? Nüwa basically ghosted the system, and oops, it just hit a fatal error. Emergency protocol officially failed. System initiating the self-destruct sequence? Nüwa doesn't give a single flying. She straight up ignores the alerts. Before the system could even finish its little tantrum, she merged that trash once and for all. Zero chill. After deleting the isekai fraud and his loser system, Nüwa glides over to Fuxi's body. Fuxi's body was literally hanging by a thread. Nüwa's spirit sword had him almost sliced in half. Massive L. Nukawa's heart is racing, praying to the heavens that his soul isn't completely bricked. Possession isn't the same as total deletion, so there's still a tiny glimmer of hope. Copium, but it's real. Suddenly, a fragment of Fuxi's soul starts flickering into view. He looks at Nüwa with eyes full of gratitude and pure sadness. He speaks up. Thanks, sis. If not for you, this clown would have snatched my innate body for his own grind. Nüwa stares at him, shaking, and goes, Bro, I'm gonna save you, I swear. Fuxi hits her with the reality check. It's too late. My main soul is already toast. This is just a leftover obsession fading away. Sis, you gotta take my share of the XP and live your best life, FR. Just like that, his soul, or rather, his final core memory, starts dissolving into the ether. Gone. If Nutawa was already a saint at this point, she could have easily stabilized his soul with her aura. Then she could have found a way to respawn him like a boss. But nah, her current stats are too low. She's only at the peak of Taiyi Golden Immortal. She's basically hard stuck. Big brother, I'm living for both of us now. Period. I'm gonna reach the top of the primordial realm and make every single one of these isekai frauds pay with their lives. Nuwa's face is set in stone. Maximum focus mode engaged. This isn't just some casual promise to the heavenly Dabi. This is a blood oath to her fallen brother. She's locking in. Without looking back, she dips from the safety of Mount Bu's house. She's diving straight into the chaotic server. And thanks to Wang Shu's memories, Nunanawa isn't playing the game blind anymore. She's got a 200 IQ roadmap for exactly what she needs to do. Honestly, those stolen memories are more OP than any cheat code she could have found. First move. She's hard rejecting the three corpses path to become a quasi-saint. Why? Because if she follows that meta, she's just forever living under Hongjun's thumb. The three corpses path is popular for the NPCs of the primordial world, but that's Hongjun's build, not hers. You can't surpass the master if you're literally using his own tech tree, right? How is she supposed to gap Hongjun if she's just copying his homework? Ever wonder why none of the later six saints could ever touch Hong? Even the heavy hitters, like the three pure ones, who literally spawned from Pengu's own soul, had to bow down and kneel to Hongjun. Obviously, it's because those six saints just copied Hongjun's homework instead of finding their own path. Once the Sun King hit the Daluo realm, they reached a literal dead end. No more progression, just vibes. At this point, they only had two choices. Option 1, pull a Gigachad move and forge their own unique path. Option 2, simp for Hongjun at the Purple Palace, become his student, and just follow his script. Spoiler alert, the Sun King chose option 2, L behavior, FR. Plus, in Wang Shu's memories, every MC in those other Honghuang fanfics took Pengu's proof of Dao through force path. And bro, they were absolutely cracked. Straight up built different. But to Nunawa? That's all just cap. Proof of Dao through force is Pengu's exclusive cheat code, and nobody else is built like him enough to pull it off. I mean, even the OG Pengu himself only got halfway to the Dao realm before folding. If the man himself couldn't finish the job, how are these other NPCs supposed to succeed? Slashing the three corpses? Doesn't work? Force? A flop? Violence? Nah, not it. Nüwa realized she had to find her own unique meta. Obviously, even if she didn't look for a new path, she'd still become a saint eventually. Why? Because creating humanity and patching the sky gives her enough merit points to speedrun sainthood. But Nüwa? She's a real one. She completely ghosted that path. Why? Because that path is mid. Merit sainthood is for losers. Sure, becoming a heavenly Dao saint lets you borrow power to match the Hunyuan realm, but you're essentially a puppet for the heavenly Dao forever. Zero autonomy. You can't go against the system, and that's a massive L. But the Hunyuan Daluo Golden Immortal? That's different. Same power level as a saint, but the juice is 100% yours. No strings attached, no corporate overlords. Once Nüwa saw the full picture, she was like, yeah, I'm taking the Hunyuan path. Period. So why is Hongjun so op? Because he used the slashing method, and his three corpses reached the Hunyuan level. Then he plugged his soul into the heavenly Dao, becoming a heavenly Dao saint who has the raw power of a Hunyuan while also having the keys to the entire heavenly Datio system. Big brain energy, but kinda cringe. And just like that, Hongjun became the absolute GIGCHAD of the primordial realm. Even if all six saints pulled up at once, they'd still get absolutely bodied by him. On top of that, Hongjun later invented the Dao merging cheat code. His IQ and his combat stats? They were playing a different game compared to the six saints. Nüwa spent 5 Yuan Hui roaming the primordial realm. And for those who don't know, 1 Yuan Hui is 129,600 years. Talk about a long road trip. She stayed low-key, minding her own business, and didn't start beef with anyone. But if some blind NPC dared to test her, yeah, they got sent straight to the lobby. Since Nüwa spawned in early, she started snagging all the legendary loot that was destined for her. Take the map of mountains and rivers, for example. A top-tier immortal treasure that Hongjun was supposed to give her later. Well, she already copped it way ahead of schedule. Now Nüwa is hunting for the red hydrangea ball, another item that's got her name written all over it. If she secures all her gear, she'll be able to decide if she even wants to visit the Purple Cloud Palace to hear the Dafo on her own terms. Absolute boss energy. Eventually, Nüwa finds herself vibing in some random dense forest in the primordial realm. Suddenly, she feels that loot radar ping for the red hydrangea ball. She didn't hesitate. She started flying toward the signal ASAP. The place was a total jungle. Massive, ancient trees, lush greenery, and wildflowers everywhere. Thick grass, aesthetic vibes. It was actually a 10 out of 10 map. Nüwa quickly pinpointed the source of the signal. It was buried deep underground. She gathered her peak Taiyi golden immortal aura and manifested a sword made of pure spiritual energy. Then, she let it rip, slashing straight into the ground. The primordial realm's earth is built different. It's literally indestructible. Otherwise, it wouldn't have survived the massive catastrophes that came later. Even with her cracked Taiyi golden immortal stats, she had to spam that slash over and over until she finally caught a glimpse of the red hydrangea ball. A beam of red light shot across 1,000,000 miles. Bro, a top-tier treasure appearing always comes with a massive server-wide announcement. Just a reminder for the chat. The tier list goes from Primordial Supreme Treasure down to Chaos Supreme Treasure, Chaos Spirit Treasure, Immortal Supreme Treasure, Immortal Spirit Treasure, and then Post-Heaven Supreme Treasure and Post-Heaven Spirit Treasure. Plus, you've got those weird anomaly treasures and those merit-based ones. Anyway, that flashy red light alert definitely attracted some unwanted attention from a nearby opposite. Nüwa took one look at the unicorn horn on his forehead and knew exactly who it was. A member of the Qilin clan. This was before it was trendy to shapeshift into human form, mostly because humans hadn't even been created yet. Nüwa clocked the guy. He was at the peak of the Taiyi Golden Immortal stage, straight up equal power levels with her, so he was definitely a high-ranking executive in the Qilin gang. The Qilin NPC steps up and goes, "Yo, fellow Taoist, this treasure belongs to me. You're looking at the 10th elder of the Qilin clan. Show some respect. Don't know what kind of mid-tier faction you're repping, so why don't you enlighten me?" Bro is literally just trying to flex his status to bully her. Absolute clown behavior. I mean, the Qilins are basically the kings of this continent right now, so he's feeling himself. They're out here speedrunning a continent takeover, trying to clear out all the beasts to claim the crown. Meanwhile, the Dragon Clan is busy trying to collect all the scaly bois, aiming to rule the seas and be the ultimate gatekeepers of the ocean. The Phoenix Clan? They're gathering the Bird Squad, trying to secure that Queen of the Skies status. Even though none of these top-tier clans have finished their side quests, they're still cracked and running the meta. Like, is there any race on this map even brave enough to disrespect the Qilins right now? Well, sure, there were a few NPCs back in the day who didn't know when to quit, but let's just say they found out real quick the Qilins sent them all to the lobby permanently. Deleted. These days, the Qilins only watch their step for the dragons and phoenixes. Everyone else is just a side character to them. Nüwa, absolute gigachad that she is, basically told him, "Nah, I'm solo queuing. No clan, no faction, just me." The 10th elder lets out this cringe, arrogant laugh. "Well, aren't you a brave little one?" he sneers. "Roaming the primordial world solo with zero backup? You're playing on hardcore mode." Nüwa didn't even blink, just dropped a cold smile and kept it moving. The elder kept yapping. "Look, this place is dangerous. You clearly can't handle it. Just hand over that treasure that's about to drop, and I'll personally put in a good word so you can join the Qilin clan under our ancestor." How's that for a deal, huh? But Nüwa isn't a complete NPC. She's not about to hand over her red hydrangea ball for some mid-invite. She dropped the formalities and went stone cold. "Heh, you Qilin guys really are full of yourselves, huh?" As soon as she finished, her peak Taiyi golden immortal energy exploded, turning the whole field into a pressure cooker. She whipped out the map of mountains and rivers, manifested a blade made of pure spirit energy, and aimed it straight at the elder's neck. Since this fraud really wants to try and rob her, there's no point in yapping anymore. Time to catch these hands. She's not here to talk. She's here to that aura radiating from the artifact? Bro is literally ringing the dinner bell for every op in the server. Nüwa pulls out the Sanhua Sheiji 2, manipulates the sword aura, and the Qilin tent is hitting the atmosphere, no cap. The clouds above are getting absolutely deleted, and the Qilin tribe's 10th elder is shook. He didn't expect Nüwa to be this much of a menace. She knows exactly who he is and still decides to catch a body? That's cold. Bro is panicking, scrambling to go all out just to survive the encounter. Even though this elder is technically at the same cultivation rank as Nüwa and has decent stats, he's rocking mid-tier gear at best. Skill issue, honestly. Trying to 1v1 Nüwa when she's holding an S-tier legendary artifact? This fraud is definitely getting cooked. Nüwa isn't even pressing the dodge button. She's just full sending it. The defense on that Sanhua Shenji 2 is cracked. The Elder couldn't even scratch it if he tried for 1,000 years. She's purely focused on the offense, zero stress, zero damage taken, absolute gigachad energy. No cap, this fight was a total wash. Nuchawa's dominance is actually insane. Less than a minute later, this Killing Elder gets deleted from the lobby. Skill issue confirmed. And before he bites the dust, you already know the clown had to beg for his life. Bro, I'm with the Killin clan. Water Killin will hunt you down if you kill me. The classic L-Taker script. Blah blah blah. Nüwa didn't even blink. She just finished the job and sent him to the Shadow Realm. After taking out the trash, she grabs her Hongshu ball and dips before the situation gets messy. Securing the bag the Hongshu ball has Nüwa feeling like 1,000,000 spirit stones. This thing is an S-tier offensive cheat code. Pairing it with her defensive map? That's the ultimate meta build. Plus, the ball isn't just for smashing heads. It's a celestial matchmaker tool too. She can literally speedrun Heaven's Favor later just by officiating marriages. The grind never stops. While these aren't the absolute peak god-tier weapons, they have more utility than a Swiss Army knife. If we're talking top-tier offense, that's Yuan Shi Tianzun's Pangu Banner. That thing is literally built different, pure DPS overload. And for peak defense, you've got Laozi's Taiji Diagram, which is just as tanky as the legendary Donghuang Bell. Back at the Killin base, the moment the Elder kicked the bucket, his life tablet shattered into pieces. The big bosses back at HQ got the notification instantly. It's over for him. Water Killin is straight up tweaking, sending out the whole squad to find the person who clapped his Elder. He's out here playing 4D chess, blaming the Dragon and Phoenix tribes. In this whole server, he can't imagine anyone else being bold enough to touch his clan. Meanwhile, Numawa? She's not even worried about these clowns. The Dragon, Phoenix, and Quilin clans are all mid-tier plot devices destined to get nerfed by history. The Dragons are the only ones who aren't complete L-takers. They fell off hard, but at least their bloodline didn't get deleted from the game. The Phoenix and Quilin clans? Yeah, they basically got wiped off the server, skill issue FR. Even the ones who managed to survive are basically just glorified Uber drivers for other people now. L-tier existence. Nüwa already knew how the Honghuang meta was playing out, so she wasn't losing sleep over the Qilin clan. They weren't even on her radar. With the red hydrangea ball equipped, Nüwa decided to go touch grass and roam the vast lands of Honghuang. The map in this server is literally infinite. She's been speedrunning the exploration for ages and still hasn't touched every corner of the map. After grinding the mainland for a while, Nüwa decided to hit up the ocean biomes for a change of pace. The East Sea is basically the Long clan's territory now. Total shark behavior. The Phoenix clan is chilling at the immortal volcano in the South Sea, basically living in a permanent fire hazard. And the Qilin clan? They're tucked away at the Qilin Cliff near Mount Buzhao, which, honestly, is basically right in Numa's own backyard where she first spawned. Now, Wang Shu's memories from those fan FIC novels were hitting different. He kept saying the East Sea is low-key a gold mine, basically a loot heaven. Like, just pull up to Golden Turtle Island or some random fairy island and you're bagging infinite loot. Talking about the 24 sea calming pearls, the Huangzong Li fruit, or even, get this, the chaos bead. Absolute endgame items just lying around. Nukawa is honestly just dead inside hearing this. The prophecy says the heavenly path has 49 laws, and the chaos bead is the one that dipped. You're telling me the chaos supreme treasure, the one even Pangun couldn't find, is just sitting there? And these isekai main character wannabes just stroll in and loot it like it's a side quest? Bro, that's easier than picking up loose change off the sidewalk. Like, quit playing. These supreme treasures have high tier IQ. They aren't just sitting there waiting to be picked up. The Chaos Bead felt the world-shattering catastrophe coming and ghosted everyone. It's been gone for eras. It's not just chilling in the East Sea. Numa's over here doubting if the Chaos Bead is even in this dimension anymore. Did it uninstall and move to a different server entirely? The chaos is infinite, man. Is there even something outside of the chaos? Even Numawa doesn't have the cheat codes to figure that out yet. The East Sea is stacked with legendary islands that pop up in the meta later on. You've got Penglai Island, the base for the Eastern Duke, and Golden Turtle Island, where Tongtian sets up the G-Sect HQ. Then there's the Three Fairy Islands, the crib for the three Zhao sisters. Nüwa pulls out the landscape map to mask her aura, staying low-key. She starts trying to ping the locations of these hidden islands. Let me tell you, that process is not for the casuals. It's a high-difficulty grind. If she was already a saint, she'd just blink and find them. But she's still working for those gains. Look, Nüwa is only at the peak of the Taiyi Golden Immortal Realm RN, and the East Sea is straight up infinite no cap. It's not just a couple of islands. We're talking over 100 million islands, large and small, scattered everywhere. Try to find one specific spot? Bro, that's literally impossible. Skill issue. After a whole ass era passed, Nukawa finally managed to calculate the coordinates for the Three Immortals Island. She immediately dashed over and pulled up to the island. The place was massive, absolutely dripping with peak spirit energy, total aesthetic vibes. These islands out here in the East Sea vary like crazy in size. Some are smaller than the Earth. Mid, honestly. But the big ones? They're legit the size of an entire solar system. Built different. The Three Immortals Island? Definitely a top-tier map in this server. But obviously, Jinao Island is the GOAT of the map. I mean, Tongtian picked it as his base. You know he's going for the best stats and max capacity. Even though the Three Immortals Island is huge, for a top-tier Taiyi Golden Immortal like Nüwa, it took zero effort to speedrun a lap around the place. She senses 4 raw essences, incubating 4 primal life forms. Probably Zhao Gongming and the Sangxiao sisters. The future squad is cooking. Nüwa didn't even bother them. She just kept it moving. Instead, she hopped onto a random, nameless island right next door. She felt the vibe. Something cracked was hidden here, but the signal was low-key sus. She wasn't even sure what kind of loot she was pulling. If it's the 24 sea calming pearls or some other intercepting sect gear, she's not touching that too much drama. If she yoinks it, Tongtian is going to catch a notification mid-incubation. Not worth the beef. Once everyone hits Saint-Tie, they can literally check the logs of the entire timeline. Taking that loot would definitely come with some major karma debt. Following the ping, she walked straight into a hidden cave. Her jaw dropped. There was actual chaos chi just chilling in there. She knew right then, this treasure is high tier no doubt. That chaos energy was leaking straight from deep underground. Nüwa didn't hesitate for a second. She whipped out her red hydrangea ball and absolutely smashed the floor. Boom! The raw power of a top-grade innate spirit treasure hitting the ground? Insane. The whole island started tweaking. Boulders flying everywhere. Even the Three Immortals Island next door was shaking like crazy. Zhao Gongming and the Sangxiao sisters weren't even born yet, but they definitely felt the server lag from this one. Once the cave floor shattered, a massive burst of chaos energy mixed with pure innate spirit chi exploded outward. God damn, the density of this energy is cracked. A few moments later, a literal rainbow light show starts popping off from underground. Looks like some S-tier legendary loot is about to spawn. Boom! Out of nowhere, a white lotus platform rises up, glowing with that same colorful aura. This thing is glowing with the purest energy in the entire multiverse. It's pristine, flawless, and honestly looks like a top-tier craft from the gods. Nüwa instantly clocks it. Yo, that's the 12th grade purifying white lotus. Most people don't even know this thing exists, because back in the day, the 3 pure ones literally went to war trying to claim it. It got so heated that Hongjun had to step in and nerf it, splitting the lotus into 3 parts. It turned into Laozi's walking stick, Yuanxi's scepter, and Tongtian's sword. Talk about a major L for the lotus. That's the only way they finally stopped fighting over it. Long story short, after Pangu created the world, the 36th grade chaos lotus he was standing on shattered into 4 pieces. You had the merit golden lotus and the karma red lotus. Old man Minghe snatched the destruction black lotus, and Demon Lord Rahu grabbed the purifying white lotus. Then, as we said, Hongjun chopped that white one into 3, and the 3 pure ones scavenged the scraps. All 4 are top-tier ancient artifacts. Not just absolute tanks in defense, but they all got different cheat code abilities. Take the Merit Golden Lotus. It's literally the ultimate sect security system for boosting luck and karma. The Western sect literally built their entire foundation on that thing to keep their sect from collapsing. The Karma Red Lotus and Destruction Black Lotus are the definition of all-rounder builds. Offense and defense on lock. That Karma Red Lotus? It triggers your opponent's bad karma until they're basically deleting themselves. And the Destruction Black Lotus? It's out here emitting pure, end-of-the-world energy. It literally wrecks your mental state and breaks your Taoist core while nuking you with destruction light. Total glass cannon destroyer. The Purifying White Lotus is basically the Merit Golden Lotus's cousin. It's perfect for stabilizing a sect, but it also cleanses your mind and gives you immunity to all the trashy debuffs. It's a hard counter to anything with negative energy in its build. For instance, the Destruction Black Lotus's nukes? Yeah, the White Lotus just says nah to that negativity. Bottom line, these relics are all absolute W's. If we're talking raw defense stats, the Purifying White Lotus actually outclasses the mountain and river map. Nüwa doesn't even blink. She snatches that lotus up immediately. Since it's currently ownerless, the acquisition is a breeze, and she doesn't have to worry about triggering any karma with the 3 pure ones. Plus, the 3 pure ones never even got the real deal. They just got the budget split versions. Nugawa just secured the complete, legendary tier 12th grade Purifying White Lotus. Major W, no contest. Check the stats. Name, Nüwa. Rank, Primordial Being. Level, Peak Taiyi Golden Immortal. Body, Perfected Golden Immortal. Cheat code, Creation Heaven Technique. Spells, World Breaking Ball, Purifying Light. Talents, 36 Heavenly Transformations, and 72 Earthly Transformations, plus Elemental Mastery. gear, red hydrangea ball, mountain and river map, and the purifying white lotus. She basically used the system's micro-rules to build a HUD in her own mind. Now she can track her stats like a true main character. That creation heaven technique is her signature innate skill. Every primordial being spawns with a cheat code. And let's be real, the post-heaven creatures could never vibe on this level. Like, Laozi has his Tai Ching immortal art, and, well, you get the point. We're talking OG status here. She's got the Jade Pure Immortal Arts, and to make it even more unfair, she's rocking innate magic gear from birth. Just look at heavy hitters like Di Jun and Deng Huang Tai Yi. They were built different. Those two techniques? Basically just side effects of them owning the red hydrangea and the grade 12 purification lotus. Nüwa's 3 divine abilities were literally hard-coded into her DNA. She came out of the womb knowing how to sweat on everyone else. And honestly, Nüwa's loot run for that purification lotus was light work. Absolute W. She was ready to ghost the server and leave immediately. But then, a DM slides into her DMs. Please, fairy goddess, teach us how to manifest into human form. We're down bad for that glow up. We're ready to pledge loyalty and call you sensei. It was a girl's voice on the other end. Nüwa didn't know which of the Sanxiao sisters it was, but she bet it was the big sis, Yun Xiao. Instead of dipping, Nüwa pulls a U-turn and heads back to Sanxian Island. She stares at the 4 blobs of elemental essence in front of her and decides to drop some wisdom. Listen, I'm not going to take credit for your growth, but I'll drop the tutorial on how to level up your humanoid form. No need to be my students either. Consider this a pro bono carry session. The Sanxiao sisters and Zhao Gongming were literally vibrating with excitement. Honestly, these innate beings are just built different. Innate gear, innate cheat codes, innate skills. It's not even fair. It's the kind of P2W energy that makes postnatal beings look at them and just cry in the corner. The catch? Leveling up from nature spirit to humanoid is a total grind compared to late-game mortals. Every innate being takes literal eons of farming just to unlock their human skin. That's exactly why the Sanxiao squad and Zhao Gongming were thirsty for Nüwa's help. Getting the glow up early means getting to the good loot drops first. Big brain move. Nüwa starts the masterclass, dropping her premium experience points on the squad. A few other random innate beings on the island caught wind of the stream and tuned in. But the lobby was pretty chill and small. Innate beings are rare as legendary drops anyway. 1,000 years passed by in a blink. Nüwa's lecture wraps up, and she's out. She didn't do it just for the clout, or to get on the good side of the Sanxiao squad. The real play? Making sure Tong Keitian owes her a massive thank you favor later. She wasn't going to take them on as official students, though that would make her Tong Tian's op, and that's a headache she doesn't need. It's not like she's scared of him or anything, but let's be real. Tong Tian's rocking the 4 immortal slaughtering swords. The man is a walking nuke. Creating an enemy like that early game? Major skill issue. Like, why would you even do that? You'd have to be tripping to make an enemy that OP on purpose. Class dismissed. Reflect on what you learned. Don't waste the XP. It'll actually help you. Nüwa stands up, ready to dip from Three Fairies Island, and asks the OG for their name. We're literally forever in your debt, senpai. Zhao Gongming sees Nüwa trying to bounce and hits her with the, hold up, who are you? Nüwa hits him with the, I'm Nüwa, fam. Just as she's about to head out, the sky literally starts glowing, turning pure gold. The heavens actually rip open like a tear in the Matrix. Massive amounts of heavenly merit start raining down directly on Nüwa. Nüwa is low-key confused. She's like, wait, I just dropped some basic wisdom, and the universe is already throwing rewards at me? Then it clicks. This is the first time anyone's ever taught the masses, so obviously, the universe has to pay the tuition fee. It's the same vibe as the first heavenly wedding. You hit a milestone. You get the clout. Simple as that. Even though this isn't as cracked as Hongjun's legendary sermon at Purple Heaven Palace, since she's only teaching like a dozen creatures, it's still a massive W. It's definitely a solid stack of merit. Plus, Hongjun just took a massive L because his first ever teacher buff just got nerfed. Basically, Nüwa just speedran and stole his XP. Meanwhile, over at Jade Capital Mountain, Hongjun opens his eyes. His gaze is sharper than a sword, with literal galaxies spinning in his pupils. Talk about built different. This is the literal final boss of the primordial era, guys. The one holding the creation jade butterfly, Grandmaster Hongjun. But he's not a saint yet, so he's stuck wondering why his vibe feels off. He just feels in his gut that his future main character energy just got hijacked. That jade butterfly is a Tierce relic, though it got scuffed during the creation of the universe. Even scuffed, that thing is still absolutely broken. If Hongjun didn't have that cheat code, he wouldn't have been the one laughing at the end of the day. Man's got that main character aura and luck maxed out. Like, look at the 3,000 original gods. Not a single one of them was named Hongjun. The man's origin is still a total mystery. Truly a sus legend. Hongjun's just like, Whatever, grinding levels and calculating destiny is more important. He closes his eyes and goes back to AFK farming. Back to the main event. The heavenly merit is still pouring down. Nüwa is literally glowing, covered in gold light. She looks untouchable. Total goddess vibes. With all this free merit, she could have hit Deluo Golden Immortal status like it was drinking water. But Nüwa isn't a fraud. She doesn't want to take the easy way out by grinding merit levels. She already knows how the primordial meta ends, and she's not trying to speedrun her progression with shortcuts. Taking shortcuts in this game? You're just handing the keys to Hongjun and the Heavenly Dao. Big L. The 3 pure ones are absolute units, so why are they living in Hongjun's shadow? Make it make sense. Because they took the shortcut, that slashing the 3 corpses move? Yeah, that's Hongjun's bait. Classic trap. If the 3 pure ones just leveled up their own path and grinded for the primordial fruit themselves, they could have 1v1'd Hongjun for the crown. But nah, they all wanted the easy way out. Everyone's looking for a shortcut, FR. But Nüwa? She's different. She knows speedrunning the path might get you there fast, but it ain't always the right move. So she channeled the Heavenly Dao rules to solidify her cultivation at the peak of Taiyi Golden Immortal, keeping it 100% stable. But after burning through 1/5 of her merit points, she realized she was about to accidentally hit a breakthrough. Bro, she's literally too built different. So she immediately redirected that Heavenly Dao merit to start a massive body refinement grind. Here's the tea. All these ancient legends have a major skill issue. Their physical bodies are mid. Except for the 12 ancestral magi. They're the only ones who actually hit the gym. Like, look at your average quasi-sage. Their body strength is usually just at the Daluo level, maybe lower. L-tier durability. Seriously, some of them are even weaker than that. Most of these high-level players think working on their physique is a waste of XP. They're like, bro, my cultivation is higher, you can't even get close to me. One spell and you're cooked. Why bother with body training? I mean, sure, that logic holds up until you look at the Lich Cataclysm later on. Then you'll see. Having that tanky build? Still goated. If the Magi weren't absolute units with insane durability, how do you think they were 1v100ing everyone? So Nüwa started cranking her physical stats to the moon. Golden Immortal Peak, Taiyi Golden Immortal early. Mid she climbed all the way to Taiyi Golden Immortal Peak. Let's peep the stat sheet. Name, Nüwa. Origin, Primordial Innate Life Form. Cultivation, Taiyi Golden Immortal Peak. Body Strength, Taiyi Golden Immortal Peak. Main cheat code, Creation Heaven Art. Passive skills, Heaven Breaking Projection. Buffs, Purification Divine Light, 36 Heavenly Transformations. Utility, 72 Earthly Transformations, 5 Elements Escape. Inventory, Red Hydrangea Ball, Map of Mountains and Rivers, plus the 12th grade Pure World White Lotus. Absolute main character energy. After that intensive merit grind, Nüwa's body strength finally synced up with her cultivation, and she still had 1/5 of that merit stash left over. What a flex. She condensed that extra merit into a golden halo and tucked it into her Nüwa Palace for later. Big brain move. Nüwa bounced from Three Fairies Island feeling like a total boss, off to chase that main character energy so she can finally hit the Deluo breakthrough. Once she dipped, Bisha was low-key confused, so she asked, "Big bro, why didn't Auntie Nüwa just use all that merit to speedrun her cultivation instead of grinding her physical stats like that? She had enough merit to hit mid-stage Deluo Kim Immortal easily, FR. Honestly? Such a massive L." Qiang Zhao was vibing with that too, like, big facts, what a total waste. All that premium merit just gone like that? Rip. Yun Zhao and Zhao Gongming just locked eyes for a sec. Zhao Gongming was like, "You tell her." Yun Zhao sighed and dropped the lore. "Look, Auntie Nüwa has standards that touch the heavens. She's not trying to take the shortcut with cheat codes. She's built different. She wants to manifest her own unique path. No handouts allowed." And honestly, not becoming her disciple is the biggest skill issue of our lives. Nüwa left the island, did some galaxy brain calculations, and cruised past Golden Turtle Island for a bit. She didn't even touch the loot, total GigaChad energy, and just dipped. After leaving, she stayed in the East Sea, grinding for 2 whole eons just to hit the furthest edge of the map. Why is it taking so long? Bro, the East Sea is literally massive, and her current stats aren't maxed yet, so travel time is pain. If she hit Deluo, it'd be a breeze, and if she were a saint, she'd just be speed hacking across the map instantly. Nüwa was just trying to sightsee, but then she stumbled upon this absolute unit of an island. The island was straight up cursed. 0 signs of life. Total NPC energy. The mana density was mid, at best. Basically poverty tier vibes. The whole place was surrounded by toxic smog that wouldn't clear, with beast skeletons everywhere, looking like a total dead zone. Seems like the place used to be popping off back in the day. But some absolute disaster went down, and now it's just a ghost town that's straight up haunted. Not even a single bug making a peep. After scanning the whole biome, Nüwa found a secret spot tucked deep in the middle. There was this dark, edgy barrier covering it. Even Nüwa was shook by the sheer aura of this thing. Yo, This is a Grand Dao seal, she realized. Usually, with her current stats, she wouldn't even be able to scratch this thing. She'd be instantly cooked, but Nüwa's got the 12th-grade Purifying White Lotus in her inventory, so she decided to bet it all and send it. Turns out the Purifying Light from Nüwa's 12th-grade Purification Lotus is the ultimate hard counter to this edgy, dark barrier. So she activates the cheat code, and that Purification Light starts melting the dark barrier like butter. But man, this is a slow grind. Even with the perfect counter, it's taking forever. Even Nüwa is low-key shook, realizing this great Dao barrier is built different. If she didn't have the Lotus on deck, there's literally zero chance she's breaking through this with her current stats. Like, who even is this guy, leaving a barrier this cracked? Nüwa is officially hyped. Whatever is behind this gate better be worth the trouble. 2 whole eons later. Yes, eons. The Lotus finally finishes melting the barrier. Nüwa steps inside, and it's pitch black. I'm talking can't see your own hands vibes, straight up chaos mode. This isn't just regular turn the lights off darkness, fam. Even with immortal vision and divine soul senses, you're supposed to see through anything. But the second she steps in, it's total blackout. Her soul sense is basically nerfed. She can't see a thing. Damn, this Dathio is actually cracked, she thinks. If I didn't have the Lotus to carry me, I'd be completely lost in this lobby. Nüwa keeps her foot on the gas, standing firm on her 12th grade Purification Lotus. The Lotus pops a white energy shield, protecting our girl while she explores this creepy basement. Whoa, didn't expect a random NPC to actually find my hideout. A scratchy, low-budget voice echoes out of the abyss. Bro sounds like he hasn't spoken in a million years. His voice is straight up lagging. Nüwa isn't sweating it at all. Yo, what's your handle, friend? She's totally unfazed, keeping it cool because she already knew some random mob was probably camping in here. I am the chaotic demon god of old, the darkness progenitor. Bro is really out here flexing his title like he's the main character. Major pick-me energy. Wait, the darkness progenitor? The guy who mained the Dao of darkness? One of the 3,000 great Daos? Nüwa is genuinely pressed for a sec. This guy is literally one of the 3,000 primordial demon gods. But she keeps a straight face. Can't let the opposite see you sweat. Honestly, even Nüwa isn't sure who this is. Even in the Wang Shu lore she's got in her head, this guy is basically a ghost-tier side character. The progenitor slowly replies, yeah, that's me. I've always kept a low profile, so it's not surprising. Nüwa's like, IOUNC, real talk, out of all 3,000 chaos demon gods, where do you actually rank on the tier list? She's trying to get the tea on these ancient entities and figure out the meta of the great Dalek. Haha, Dark Ancestor just starts straight up yapping, letting everyone know the hierarchy. Time is the GOAT, space is the king. If karma doesn't show up, destiny takes the crown. Yeah, Dark Ancestor is definitely gatekeeping the top spots. The top 5 big bosses of the Chaos Demon Gods are Pungu, Kronos, Yang Mei, the Karma Lord, and the Destiny Lord. Nüwa hits him with another question. Okay, but what comes after Destiny? Dark Ancestor flexes? Destruction is mid? But darkness? That's where the real Emperor energy is at. Dark Ancestor, declaring himself the main character. Nüwa nods along, realizing that in this guy's head, his Darkness Dako is sitting pretty at rank 7. But honestly, take this with a grain of salt. Every demon god is gonna glaze their own path, FR. Like the Yin Yang and 5 Elements guys probably think they're top tier 2, total skill issue on their part. Nüwa asks, any more? Dark Ancestor, not even pressed, just keeps dropping lore. Immortal versus Demon, Yin Yang and 5 Elements, Underworld and Reincarnation. These 12 characters cover the next 6 big names. Immortal Dao Lord, Demon Lord Rahu, Yin Yang Lord, 5 Elements Lord, Yellow Springs Lord, and the Reincarnation Lord. Dark Ancestor adds, but after the top 7, honestly, I can't even tell who's actually cracked and who's a fraud. I haven't scrapped with every single one of these guys, you know? War, Universe, and Life Laws? They could be up there too, who knows? Nüwa nods, finally getting the vibe of who the real OGs are. She asks him straight up, yo UNC, why are you spilling all this alpha to me? Dark Ancestor keeps it 100. Because I want to pass down my Darkness Dao to you, bestie. Nüwa goes silent, getting major sus vibes. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking pretty cooked right now. You're not just trying to pull a body swap and possess me, are you? Dark Ancestor just chuckles, self-deprecatingly. The UNC let out a sigh. Bruh, of course I wanted to possess your body, but I got hit by the Great Dao itself. Pangu's axe really is built different. That thing is no joke. I'm cooked, fam. My injuries are too deep, and your gear is literally hard countering me, so I've got zero chance. Nüwa just stared at him like, are you serious right now? You're a top 10 OG primordial demon god. You're really just gonna fold like that? Dark Ancestor didn't even blink. I might be hitting my expiration date, but the Dark Dao cannot die out. You down to take over my legacy? I might be hitting my expiration date, but the Dark Dao cannot die out. You down to take over my legacy? Nüwa had to think about it for a sec, but she's quick with it. She already made up her mind. Nüwa keeps it 100. Drop the Dark Aura first. I want to see what you're actually dealing with. Dark Ancestor didn't hesitate. He wiped that dark aura clean off. The shadows, which were thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, started fading out to reveal the real vibes of the place. Turns out, it's just a giant cave. Probably the last flex the Dark Ancestor had left in him before he checked out. Caves this massive aren't exactly spawning naturally. You feel me? Then Nüwa looks down and sees the absolute state of this guy. It's just his upper half. Everything from the waist down is just gone. Plus, he's got a massive, glowing Great Dabio scar right there. That wound isn't just stopping him from regenerating his body, it's literally eating him alive. It's not even a question anymore. This dude is speedrunning his own funeral. Pangui's Force Dao is actually terrifying, bro. Nüwa looks up at the Ancestor's face. The guy is supposed to be this menacing final boss, but he just looks straight up exhausted and cooked. Okay, so everything he said earlier was actually legit. He's taking heavy damage, and that Dao scar is unhealable. The only way he could potentially clutch up is if he masters the Dark Davio to a level that transcends Penguin's Force Davio, which is the only way to delete that debuff off his body. But let's be real, that's literally an impossible mission. Pangu was basically at the half-step Dao tier. His mastery over the Force Dao was absolutely cracked, while the other 3,000 demon gods weren't even on the same level as him. If you convert their strength to the primordial world's power scaling, they're basically just pseudo-saints, or Great Luo Golden Immortals. The top-tier demon gods were pseudo-saints, and the mid-ones were just Great Luo Golden Immortals, low-key mid. And Pangu? Bro was just built different, scaling way above these 3,000 primordial chaos gods. No wonder he was out here speedrunning them with just one swing of his axe. My luck was absolute dog water. Pangun cleaved me in two, and if I hadn't used the Dark Great Dao to force a stop on that law-breaking energy, I would have been lobby-checked ages ago. Old Man Darkness gave Nüwa a bitter smile, the kind that screams, "I'm traumatized," and holding a grudge. He really thought his Dark Dao was top tier, like rank 7 at least. But he couldn't even survive one swing from Pangu. Like, they're both supposed to be S-tier primordial gods. So why was the skill gap so embarrassingly massive? Nüwa could see right through him. The guy was basically a walking HP bar at 1%. Even though his cultivation level is cracked, with the 12th grade Purifying World Lotus protecting her, he's got zero chance of a body snatch. No wonder there's literally zero lore or mentions of this guy in the legends. Turns out he just had the worst RNG in history. A top-tier god, but he got clipped by Pangu during the opening cutscene. Huge L for Old Man Darkness. He asked her again, "Are you down to inherit my Dark Great Davio?" Nüwa nodded. Real talk, nobody is turning down the chance to upgrade to a Great Davio. Nüwa's got the rules of creation. But let's be real, those are just rules, not the OG Great Davio laws. Like, once these saints ascend, they can pull off stuff like warping through space-time across billions of miles. Scoping out the timeline is just basic NPC behavior for them. But rules aren't the same as raw, unfiltered Great Dao power. Why do you think Taoist Yang Mei can stand toe-to-toe with Hong Jun? Why are the big shots actually sweating when it comes to the time spirit? The saints have mastered the basics of space, time, karma, and destiny. But again, rules are not the Great Dao. Take space, for example. Yang Mei's understanding of spatial hacks makes Hong Jun look like a noob. That's why these Great Dablio laws are the ultimate drip for any saint. If you don't have some insane plot armor or luck, you aren't touching a Great Davo law. The 3,000 Chaos Gods were literally built different. They spawned with that law pre-installed. Old Man Darkness was hyped, nodding like a maniac, saying, "Bet, I can finally die in peace." The Great Davo isn't like your typical inheritance. I can't just slide the data into your... I'm about to bless you with the purest essence of the Dark Dabio, fam. But when you actually unlock it, that's on your own skill issue. I mean, your talent. Just like that, the Dark Ancestor's body literally goes boom. Inside, there's this chunk of pure, concentrated darkness. A literal orb of light starts floating straight toward Nüwa. This is the ultimate endgame darkness. It's like all the chaotic energy in the universe just condensed into a single drop. Nüwa's looking at this dark essence with a serious face. No cap. She activates her defensive barrier, the 12th grade, pure world lotus, just to be safe. The dark essence shoots straight into her forehead. But hold up. Suddenly, some random spirit starts trying to possess her. Turns out, the Dark Ancestor was playing 4D chess and hid his spirit inside the essence. He was just waiting for her to absorb it so he could hit the ultimate yoink and take over her body. Bro really thought he had the perfect plan. In his current state, he'd usually be struggling to possess anyone, let alone her. But now that the essence is already inside her, he's using its power to boost his hack. The Dark Ancestor thinks he's about to pull off the heist of the century. He actually told the truth about everything to earn her trust. Every single word was legit. No cap. That's the only way he could finesse this opportunity to steal her body. Real talk. Being honest is the best way to bait someone. In the primordial world, nobody is an NPC. Everyone is smart as hell. I knew this was too good to be true, Nukawa thinks, not even flinching. She telepathically hits the Dark Ancestor's spirit with a message. Look, it's either you or me, bro. Sorry, not sorry. My bad. But you're getting clapped. The Dark Ancestor is still talking trash. It's a female body, but hey, it's strong enough to host my spirit. And that's a W in my book. Bro is apologizing, but he's 100% not sorry. His ego is massive. At his level, he stopped caring about good or evil ages ago. To him, if you're alive and chasing the Dabio, you're winning. Everything else is just noise. You think you had a plan? Did you really think I'd just let you cook? Right as the Dark Ancestor tries to delete her spirit, a massive beam of pure gold energy blasts out from Nukawa's soul palace, aiming straight for his spirit. That's the heavenly merit stored in her golden wheel, baby. She had some leftovers from when she was grinding for levels and refining her body. And she's putting it to work now. Nukawa just dumped her entire stash of heavenly merit like a tactical nuke straight onto the Dark Ancestor. See, for your average Joe in the Honghuang realm, this merit stuff is useless. It's literally just good vibes. Usually it's a blessing, not a weapon. But for a Chaos Demon God, it's straight up antimatter. Absolute destruction. It's basically the Heavenly Dago itself, pulling up to 1v1u. Because let's be real, the Heavenly Dabio and the Chaos Demon Gods have serious beef. They are mortal enemies. FR. Pangu didn't slice up 3,000 demon gods just to let them crash his server, you feel me? The Heavenly Dao is basically just carrying out Penguin's final "don't let these losers back in" policy. Even that whole demons versus Taoists war later on, Hongjun was the only one who didn't get cooked and ended up farming all the XP. All those other Chaos Demon Gods just kept taking L's and dropping like flies. Mostly because the Heavenly Dafio was playing 4D chess behind the scenes. Back then, Hongjun hadn't even ascended to sagehood yet. He wasn't calculating the meta yet. But the moment he felt that golden aura of merit, he knew. The Dark Ancestor knew he was cooked. If he were at his peak, he'd laugh this off, but he's currently a low-tier spirit fragment. He's got 0 defense, so he's basically AFK while getting deleted. Damn, well played, he thinks. At least the great Davio of Darkness is in good hands with you. And just like that, poof, his spirit got vaporized into dust by that golden merit juice. Just like that, a legendary Tier 1 demon god goes offline permanently. Honestly, the Dark Ancestor's last words were actually based. I mean, he'd prefer to live, obviously. But if you're gonna get clapped, getting clapped by someone who is both cracked at combat and a genius strategist, that's respect. At least he knows his legacy won't be wasted on some NPC. Nüwa wasn't buying his "I respect you" act for a second. Though, the man was sus as hell. In this realm, the golden rule is, better you die than me. The higher your cultivation, the more you're down bad for survival. The Dark Ancestor definitely wasn't trying to go out, but the only reason Nüwa even risked accepting the Dark Davio essence was because she had some leftover merit in her golden wheel just sitting there, which was the perfect hard counter for his spirit. If she didn't have that cheat code, she would have ghosted the Dark Davio instead of risking a skill issue. "I'll take that essence, thanks," Nukawa said, diving straight into the deep end of the Dark Davio. Spoiler alert. She's about to have a major headache. At her current rank, trying to master a great Dabo is like trying to speedrun a game on the hardest difficulty. Literally impossible. But Nusa was built different, so she's going for the glory, even if she just gets a basic grasp of the Dark Davio. It's a massive W. What even is darkness, really? Is it just the night sky? Is it just the lack of light? Nah, that's mid-tier stuff. True darkness is on a whole different level. We're talking raw chaos, fam. That's the final boss of shadows. So if you manage to max out your Darkness Davio skill tree, you literally unlock the power to create pure chaos. Big brain energy. Nukawa is locked in, absolutely grinding her mastery of the Dark Davio. She's so focused she completely loses track of time, space, and reality. She's gone full monk mode. Nüwa enters this pitch-black void, and let me tell you, it's giving major Void Core vibes. No cheat items like the Pure World White Lotus to save her here. She's raw-dogging the darkness. 0 sounds, 0 light. No breeze, no life. Not even a single air molecule moving. Just vibes and void. Just pure, unadulterated blackness hanging out with our girl. This is the ultimate mental nerf. It's like being yeeted into a black hole with no exit strategy. Absolute L energy. No matter where she goes, it's just more darkness. Infinite L's. She's totally bugging out, forgot why she's even there, just vaguely remembering she's trying to unlock a new skill. She's forgotten she's a legendary primordial being, or even a powerful immortal. She even forgot she could fly, just walking on foot like a total NPC in a horror game. In a void like this, time is a social construct that doesn't exist. Time is literally meaningless. The only thing on the menu is eternal darkness. She loses count of how long she's been walking. Could be 100 years. Could be an entire eon. Who knows? She's not even tired. but she's trapped in this infinite shadow realm with no way out. Slowly, she forgets her own name and her origin story. She's basically factory resetting her own brain. She's just autopiloting now, walking forward, whispering to herself like a mad woman, "Keep moving. Don't stop until you reach the edge of the abyss." Good thing her Dao heart is built different. Absolute gigachad mental fortitude. If this were some regular, bottom-tier mortal, they would have folded and had a mental breakdown ages ago. This is why not everyone can touch the great Dabaloo, boys. The requirements are actually cracked. You gotta be built to withstand the void. She keeps trekking, but forward doesn't even exist. Every direction is just more infinite nothingness. There's no left, no right, no forward, no back. No north, no south, no east, no west. She just keeps walking for an eternity. Time is so broken here, you can't even out of nowhere. Literally zero warning. Suddenly, this blinding beam of light just shatters the infinite darkness like a legendary sword. And right there, a golden staircase appears. You step on that bad boy, and you're out of this void. It's the ultimate exit strategy. The stairs are radiating pure hype energy, and the temptation? Bro, it's basically impossible to say no. Think about it. A thirsty NPC wandering the desert for days, on the brink of checking out, who suddenly finds a hidden oasis. Your first instinct? You're chugging that water. No questions asked. Nüwa's first thought was exactly the same. Bet, I'm dipping. And she moved to climb that golden ladder to escape the depressing void. But right before she touched it, Nüwa stopped cold. She was out here vibing in hesitation because her inner core, her Dao heart, was screaming at her. "Wrong way, bestie, go back into the dark!" Nüwa took one last look at that golden aesthetic. Totally down bad for that warm light, struggling to let go. But she stays true to the grind and walks back into the infinite darkness alone. Huge flex. The second she commits, the light vanishes, the ladder goes poof, and the whole void straight up implodes. As the space collapses, a literal ocean of memories crashes into Nüwa's spirit like a tidal wave. Everything hits her at once. She remembers who she is, and she realizes she's been speedrunning the grand Dabao of darkness. Even though it felt like an entire lifetime had passed in that void, in the real world, only 100 years. Time flies when you're suffering, I guess. And just like that, Nüwa hits the breakthrough, shattering her limits and reaching the early stage of the Daluo Golden Immortal realm. Absolute glow-up. Because she passed the vibe check, the Grand Dabo of Darkness officially accepted her, merging into her body like a custom skin. With the Dao's approval, her brain got a massive data download of forbidden knowledge. Turns out, the Dao of Darkness has 7 stages: dusk, twilight, gloom, shadow, darkness, extreme dark, and chaos. So where's Nüwa at right now? Nowhere, fam. She hasn't even hit stage 1. She's technically not even in the tutorial yet. That whole ladder thing? Just a gatekeeping test by the Dabao to see if she was worthy. If you're thirsty for the light, you ain't got the riz required to wield the Dabao of Darkness. Stay mad. Honestly, with her current stats, she's nowhere near ready to actually master the Dao of Darkness. She needs to reach the peak of Daluo Golden Immortal before she can even unlock the beginner's badge. But if she pulls it off, she can skip the mid-tier grind and go straight to the quasi-saint level. No need to follow Hongjun's cringe slaying the 3 corpses meta. Big W for our girl. Huge harvest. Nüwa finally found her own path to the top. The grind is going to be brutal, but compared to regular Dao laws, this path is built different, way stronger. Pangu himself used this same strat to ascend. It's called proving the Dao through strength. So, Nüwa's current build is proving the Dao through darkness. Let her cook! The Daluo stage is a massive skill gap. So many talented NPCs get stuck at the peak of Taiyi Golden Immortal, hard stuck forever. Being in this realm means you've detached yourself from the River of Fate, but what does that actually mean? Simple. Take a Gigachad who controls the law of time, for example. Bro can straight up reverse the timeline, slide back to the past, and delete someone the second they spawn. Yeah, the karma backlash is mid-tier cringe, but it's doable. But once you hit Daluo Golden Immortal status, you're off the grid, completely disconnected from the River of Fate. Past and future? Nah. They don't even track your stats anymore. You literally can't hit them with the go back and spawn kill strat. If you want to take down a heavy hitter at Daluo level or higher, you gotta throw hands fair and square. No cheap shots allowed. That's why every Daluo Golden Immortal is a total menace and built different. And don't even get me started on the quasi-saints. They've transcended everything. Their power is basically infinite, and sages? Man, they're just built different, period. Absolute hacks. Omnipotent, and literally unkillable even after eons of getting folded. They're swimming in karma but don't get stained. Basically main characters of the Heavenly Dao. Nüwa hit this level and decided, bet, going straight back into grind mode to speedrun the next breakthrough. With the creation Heavenly Art running on autopilot, Nüwa started hitting that Daluo mid-stage upgrade. Back when she was a peak Taiyi Golden Immortal, she used Heavenly Dao merit to polish her stats, so her foundations were absolutely cracked. Any other NPC would be throwing a tantrum trying to level up this fast. But Nüwa? She's just speedrunning the next stage like it's nothing. That's the G status of having a solid foundation, fam. You gotta build the basement strong if you want the skyscraper to hit the clouds. Everyone gets the memo, but most of these clowns fall for the quick level shortcuts and get hard stuck. Fast forward 2 epochs, and boom, Nüwa pulls it off. Check the character sheet. Name: Nüwa, origin, primal chaotic god tier. Stats: Deluo mid-stage, physique at peak Taiyi, and she's just touching the surface of the Tao of Darkness. Skill tree: Creation heavenly art, innate OP spells like the heaven-breaking shadow and purifying light. Ultimate moves: 36 heavenly transformations, 72 earthly transformations, 5 element flash step, and her loot, the red hydrangea ball, the map of mountains and rivers, and the 12-tier purifying world lotus. Nüwa checks her newbie pack stats, gives it a solid 10 out of 10, and dips out of the EC. Once she's out of the grind, she realizes the primal world is absolute chaos, total dumpster fire. Even though the big boss Shen Ni is dead, his 4 lackeys, the 4 beast kings, are still out here running laps at Deluo level. These 4 are leading the beast tribe on a pure griefing spree, but anyone with half a brain can see it. The beast tribe is cooked. Without Shen Ni, they're just running on fumes at this point. So we're reaching the end of the Beast Cataclysm arc, and let me tell you, this catastrophe is about to dip. It's basically mid-season filler at this point. Nüwa couldn't care less about the chaos, but obviously she's out here playing 4D chess, looking to secure the bag or set up some endgame plays. Nüwa is gliding through the sky, looking down at the primordial realm like a total menace, watching everyone scrap in the streets. Suddenly, she spots this random red cloud floating among the basic white ones. It's standing out like a neon sign in a dark room. Nüwa hits it with that Deluo level lockdown, freezing the cloud in its tracks. The red cloud is tweaking, trying to break free, but bro is just absolutely cooked. Total cope. Yo, chill out fam, stop trying to run the fade. I'm literally just a cloud that hasn't even hit its glow up yet, the red cloud stammers, sounding shook. And honestly, it knows that if Nüwa wanted to end him before he even got a body, it would be light work. Easy clap. Look, you're the first red cloud created when heaven and earth split. Meeting me is actually a massive W for you. Nüwa knows exactly who this is. The OG nice guy of the primordial world. It's none other than Red Cloud himself. Hong Yun immediately switches to NPC quest mode. Please, sensei, show me the way. Nüwa keeps it cool. How about I drop some knowledge to help you speedrun your transformation? Hong Yun is stunned. Bro literally just got a legendary drop from the heavens. Free W. He's already simping. Thank you for the massive carry, senior. May I ask for your name? I'm definitely gonna pay you back for this. Real talk. Hong Yun is a high-tier legendary spawn, major main character energy potential. Too bad his future decision to give up his seat at Xixiao Palace is a certified L-take that costs him his saint status. Nüwa is looking at him thinking, yeah, he's a solid investment. She decides to use him for her long game strategy. I am Nüwa. She drops the name and goes straight to business, spitting bars on how to unlock his form. She doesn't even bother spoiling his future tragedy. Bro isn't ready for those leaks yet. Plus, heavenly secrets and all that gatekeeping can't let the plot leak early. 100 years pass in a blink, and Hong Yun is feeling enlightened. Thanks to Nüwa's coaching, he just skipped several eras of grinding. Major time save. This is a massive karmic debt. The biggest W of his life. Little does Hong Yun know, this coaching session is way more important than he can even fathom. Even after he fumbles the bag later, he's the only one outside of the Six Saints to ever hold the primordial purple vapor. His aura is goated. But let's be real. His lux, that Hongmeng aura didn't turn him into a saint. Nah, it basically speedran his own funeral and got him deleted from existence. But now that Hong Yun is manifesting early, that's a major W for his character arc. Dude just unlocked a literal cheat code for survival. For Hong Yun, this is straight up destiny knocking on his door. Alright, bet. Let's see what you can actually do with this lucky break. Once the lecture finished, Nüwa dipped immediately. No cap. She didn't even stick around. Hong Yun wasn't about to forget the massive favor she did for him, so he kept it real. If you looked up from the ground, you'd see a giant red cloud floating in the sky. It looked like it was literally bowing down in respect. After piecing out from Hong Yun, Nüwa kept cruising through the sky. Suddenly, she picked up a vibe. A super dense aura of Xiantian gang metal energy coming from the west. We're talking about West Kunlun, fam. Not the Kunlun mountain where the 3 pure ones are chillin', but the place where Queen Mother of the West is spawning. And of course, the area is currently getting griefed by a massive army of savage beasts. Nüwa did a quick mental scan. We're talking 5 million of these things. That's a full-blown raid. She decided to pull up to West Kunlun to check the scene. The Queen Mother of the West is high tier, FR Father. Later on, Hong Jun literally gives her the title of Leader of Female Immortals. If Nüwa can set up a few plays around her now, that's just big brain strategy. Every move right now is just prep for the endgame. Nüwa is out here playing 4D chess, stacking up those future wins. As she got closer to West Kunlun, the aura of death hitting her was straight up cursed. Up on the mountain, that gang metal energy was so thick, it formed a defensive barrier. It was shielding the life form inside, but it wasn't having a good time. See, gang metal energy is all about that aggro, high damage life. All that murderous energy basically acted like a beacon, calling in every NPC monster to crash the party and loot the place. Inside that cloud, there's not just a high-tier legendary item waiting to be claimed, but the Queen Mother herself, who hasn't even finished her glow-up yet. West Kunlun is having a massive skill issue right now. And if this keeps up, it's looking kinda mid for the Queen Mother. She might not even finish manifesting. Now, 5 million beasts might sound like small potatoes in the grand scheme of the prehistoric world, but for West Kunlun, this is basically getting invaded by a server-killing guild. In like 2 seconds, every living thing for 10,000 miles got absolutely consumed by these monsters. These beasts are moving mad. They're not just eating the mobs, they're wiping out all the resources and terraforming the map. At this rate, West Kunlun is about to get speedrun into a barren rock. These beasts are built different, and not in a good way. They're absolutely massive. Some of these clowns look like they have 10 heads. Some look like rabid dogs. Others are covered in reverse spikes. Total nightmare fuel. And then you've got some with like 10 pairs of wings just hovering around, ready to grief the whole area. Look at this thing. It's got a massive, ugly head with literally 3,000 eyes. Absolute nightmare fuel. If you've got trypophobia, this thing would have you paralyzed on the floor, FR. These beasts are basically hungry ghosts with zero chill, and they've actually got a leader. Meet Teodi, one of the 4 great beast kings serving under god Shen Ni. He's rocking a mid-stage Daluo golden immortal cultivation. Bro is definitely not someone you want to catch in a dark alley. He looks like a tiger with a human face and tusks like a wild boar. Bro really skipped the cool animal aesthetic. He's the smallest of the squad, but don't let that fool you. He's the literal gigachad of the group. His combat stats are just built different. See, once you hit a certain level of power in the primordial era, you stop compensating with size. Once you hit the Tai Golden Immortal level, you realize size is just a skill issue. It's all about that aura, king. Since Shen Ni is currently getting clapped, the 4 Beast Kings are doing the heavy lifting to keep his legacy alive. Teodi spotted some high-tier treasure in West Kunlun and decided it was time to liberate it to pad his own stats. Total villain behavior. Nüwa is watching from the sidelines, and she's sitting at the same power level as this fraud Teodi. But is she scared? Nah, she's vibing. What actually has her pressed is that she's picking up the scent of a chaos demon god nearby. Usually, she wouldn't be able to sense those guys at all, but since she unlocked the Tao of Darkness, she's catching these faint signals from the demon gods like she's got a radar. Or rather, she's picking up on the vibrations of other Deos. She can't pinpoint where the creep is hiding in the shadows yet, so she's playing it cool and holding back. Just then, the southern sky turns into an absolute inferno. That's not just a campfire, that's the true Phoenix Flame, baby. The Phoenix clan has entered the chat. They're raining down millions of fireballs on the beast army. Absolute scorched earth tactics. The beasts are panic running everywhere. They are officially cooked. Nothing but screams everywhere. Any beast that gets touched by a fireball is turning into straight up ash. I'm here now, you beastly losers. Think you can just run wild on my turf? Hovering over West Kunlun on a throne made of pure flame, a gorgeous queen has arrived. The aura is unmatched. She's rocking a blood-red robe that looks like it was dipped in pure drip. Those golden eyes? They look like they've seen the past, present, and your future elves. The sheer main character energy is leaking everywhere. Sharp, lethal, and radiating that I'm the CEO of everything vibe. Total boss energy. This is Yuan Feng, the Phoenix clan chief. Usually, Feng is for the males and Huang for the females, but here she is, a total baddie, calling herself Yuan Feng. That's just her ego talking, and honestly, she owns it. She wants to be the progenitor of the entire race, so she took the name to prove she's the alpha. Even at this point, she's still sitting at the Daluo Golden Immortal stage, but she's already flexing like a champion. But man, the way he's carrying himself right now, absolute main character energy. He's straight up rocking that legendary aura, basically giving off serious Dragon, Phoenix, and Kulin vibes. Our boy Ji Zhen is destined to be the absolute GOAT of this entire world. Yuan Feng, it's you again. Tao Ji is out here tweaking, staring daggers at the queen sitting on her fire throne, straight up mauling. These two have thrown hands plenty of times. But let's be real. Tao Ji always takes the L. Yuan Feng is sitting at the peak of the Daluo Golden Immortal realm. Straight up OP. In terms of raw stats, she's definitely got the edge over Tao Ji. But at this level, sending someone to the lobby for good is way easier said than done. Tao Ji keeps catching Ls, but he's got those plot armor escape skills, so Yuan Feng hasn't been able to secure the kill yet. Today, You're getting deleted from West Kunlun. Period. Yuan Feng sounds ice cold. That arrogance is straight up lethal. LOL, if you actually had the hands to back that talk up, would I still be standing here vibing? Taoji isn't even flinching. He knows she's a menace, but killing him? That's not happening today. Yuan Feng gives the word, and her million-strong aerial army goes full beast mode, rushing the monsters. She pulls out a sword made of straight-up Phoenix True Fire, radiating enough bloodlust to delete the whole server. Taoji pulls out his signature weapon, a massive, blood-stained fang. Bro actually ripped out his own tooth and bathed it in the blood of 10 million mobs just to craft this thing. Talk about being down bad. It's an Husheshan supreme treasure called the Blood Drinker Fang. Edgy, but it works. He swings that fang, sending a wave of blood-red energy straight at Yuan Feng. She slashes back, and the temperature spikes so hard the air basically ignites. A pillar of fire clashes head-on with that blood wave. Boom! The magic collide, shaking the heavens like a server crash, with a shockwave blowing everything away for millions of miles. While those two are locked in a sweaty try-hard 1v1, the two armies are absolute chaos, trading blows left and right. Yuan Feng's squad is slightly outnumbered, but honestly, that fire nuke she dropped earlier already wiped half the enemy team. Skill issue on their part. The battle is a complete stalemate, but wait, there's this random black lion just chilling in the middle of the carnage doing absolutely nothing. Weirdly enough, none of the aerial units are even targeting it. SUS. And obviously, it's just a disguise. That thing is definitely not a regular lion. Hidden in the shadows, Nüwa's eyes are locked onto this shady-looking lion like a predator. The lion opens its massive maw and starts spitting out toxic black smog like it's using a poison gas ultimate. That dark mist is spreading any beast or bird touched by that black mist straight up turns blood red and goes full-blown feral mode. The two sides were actually throwing hands with some rhythm, but suddenly, they just lost the plot. Total anarchy. They stopped caring who was an enemy and started mauling their own teammates. Absolute skill issue. In a heartbeat, the battlefield turned into a straight-up massacre. Bodies everywhere. Rivers of blood. What kind of toxic debuff is this OP? How is it casually mind-controlling a multi-million-man army into chaos? Nukawa squinted her eyes. She knew it wasn't a status effect. It was straight-up laws of the Dao manipulation. Yuan Feng and Qilin were locked in a sweaty 1v1, and they definitely noticed the vibe shift on the battlefield. These two gigachads realized real quick that a third party was griefing their lobby. A phoenix screech ripped through the atmosphere, shaking the very heavens, drowning out the screams of millions of soldiers, vibrating straight into the souls of every bird on the map. At the same time, Qilin let out a Beast King roar that echoed across the 9 heavens. The sound refused to die down. It's the Phoenix heavenly tone and the Beast King roar. Both are basically leaders' privilege hacks to force their mobs to stay in line. But the birds and beasts were too far gone. Their own leaders. Commands weren't even landing anymore. Suddenly, a beam of red light shot straight into the center of the madness. A top-tier immortal artifact, delivering a massive burst of damage. Turns out there was a secret fourth player hiding in this lobby. Yuan Feng and Qilin immediately paused the fight. That black lion saw the red hydrangea ball moving at Mach speed and spat out a wave of black law energy. That energy manifested into a shield, actually parrying the red hydrangea's attack. No cap, that was a solid block. The red hydrangea bounced back to Nüwa, who touched down not far from Yuan Feng. Yuan Feng took one look at Nüwa, and to be real, Yuan Feng was low-key shook. If we're using Earth slang, she's usually the main character of her own mirror, thinking she's the baddest in the entire primordial realm. But Nüwa? She wasn't losing that contest. This made Yuan Feng super curious about who this NPC was. According to the original lore of the primordial world, both of these girl bosses are legendary powerhouses. But they shouldn't even know each other exists, since Nüwa was just AFK farming at Mount Buzhao the whole time. She was supposed to stay hidden until Hongjun started his first lecture at the Zixiao Palace. By then, the Longhan calamity would have already ended, and Yuan Feng would have been long gone. R.I.P. Nukawa hits Yuan Feng with a side-eye, then just brushes her off with a meh expression, locking her gaze onto the black lion. Nüwa speaks slow and steady. If I'm not mistaken, you're the Chaos Ancestor, one of those 3,000 primordial chaos demon gods. The master of the law of chaos shifts into a human form, only way bigger, and flexes. Didn't think any of you primordial peasants would recognize a legend like me. I am Chaos! And I've been hiding in this beast army just to crank the chaos up to 11, making sure every living soul out here ends up in the lobby. I'm just farming the grudge and resentment from the fallen to level up my own stats. Oh, and he's got a side quest. He's trying to snack on the Queen Mother of the West before she even finishes her glow-up. Devouring an unformed primordial being? That's basically an XP exploit for this guy. Yuan Feng and Ji are shook. They had no idea a top-tier demon god was camping in their lobby. Yuan Feng goes full Karen. Chaos, you absolute fraud. You think this land is a playground for you, Chaos Demon God rejects? Stop your little chaotic shenanigans right now. Meanwhile, the Bird Army and the Beast Army are still busy griefing each other. If they keep throwing like this, millions of units are going to be deleted from the server. Jishi joins the squad against the common enemy, fuming. If my Emperor Shen Ni hadn't been nerfed and logged off, you wouldn't be out here acting like you own the place? Chaos just laughs, acting like a total NPC hater. If the primordial heavenly Tao wasn't debuffing us, you pathetic primordial creatures wouldn't even be worth the breath to talk to me. I would have wiped your servers ages ago. And honestly, Chaos is spitting facts. He might not be S tier among the 3,000 demon gods, but he's easily top 100, which is cracked. If any demon god was too much of a loser back in the day, Penguin's axe already sent them to the Shadow Realm. Back in the Chaos era, this guy was basically a pseudo-saint at peak form. In a world where no saints have spawned yet, he's basically the final boss, but it's a L for him. The Heavenly Dao hit him with a massive stat nerf. Right now, he's capped at late stage Deluo Golden Immortal. Sure, he could try to use his full pseudo-saint power, but the Heavenly Dagio's banhammer is waiting to delete him the second he does. Bro knew if he didn't want to end up like the last guy, he had to take the L and accept his fate. Hun Luan looked at Nukawa and was like, "Yo, how'd you even spot me in this absolute chaos?" "Not bad, not bad," Nukawa replied. "But enough talk. I'm about to send you to the lobby, UNC." With that, Yuan Feng, who has zero chill, straight up threw hands. She's at the late stage of Deluo Golden Immortal, and she wasn't scared one bit. Nüwa pulled out her red hydrangea ball again, ready to help Yuan Feng delete this guy from the server. Qi thought about it for a sec and decided to jump in the fight too. Not that he cares about Yuan Feng, obviously, but this Chaos Demon God had the audacity to sneak into his Beast Army and then started clapping his troops like they were nothing, completely disrespecting the Beast King's authority. If he doesn't cook this demon god, his ego is never going to recover. And just like that, a massive 3v1 gank squad was born. Yuan Feng, late stage Daluo Golden Immortal. Nüwa, mid stage Daluo Golden Immortal. And Qi. These absolute gigachads are all jumping Hun Luan, who's currently nerfed down to the late stage level. Honestly, the Law of Chaos is way better for crowd control than a 1v1 duel. It's not exactly the most cracked power in a fair fight. I mean, earlier he easily manipulated millions of soldiers and beasts, because the more chaotic the battlefield, the more that dude thrives. He's literally built for the mess. But now, facing three powerhouses like Yuan Feng, Nüwa, and Qi who are actually prepared for his tricks, he can't bait them into his chaos traps at all. So as the fight drags on, Hun Luthian is slowly getting cooked. Hun Luhan realized he was down bad. These three hit like a truck, especially Nüwa. Even though she's only mid-stage, she's decked out in so many OP legendary artifacts that Hun Lufan is struggling to tank the hits. Getting jumped by all three, Hun Luan started leaking HP. Reverse, heaven and earth. Hun Luan screamed, cranking his chaos law to the absolute limit. The law of chaos flooded the West Kunlun region for billions of miles, manifesting into three giant black serpents in the sky. Straight up constructs of pure chaos energy. These snakes were hundreds of thousands of feet long. Suddenly, three massive-ass black serpents spawn out of nowhere and start charging straight at Yuan Feng, Nüwa, and Tongji. Talk about a jump scare. Nukawa immediately activates the Pure World White Lotus cheat code, hitting them with that holy purification light to tank the damage. Yuan Feng and Tongji aren't just standing there either. They're popping off with their own OP abilities to parry these chaotic rule-bending monsters. But the second they finish tanking that ultimate, the Chaos Ancestor pulls a Vanishing Act and dips. Talk about a certified fraud move. Once the OG scammer runs off, the Bird Army stops tweaking, and the Beast Army finally gets their sanity back. They stopped griefing their own teammates and started rushing the enemy, but Tongji, being the absolute rat he is, immediately tries to sneak attack Yuan Feng. Man's really trying to speedrun a backstab. Yuan Feng wasn't having any of that, and immediately countered, turning their alliance into a full-blown, sweaty lobby match. Nutawa just lets out a tired sigh. Damn, life is really like that, huh? 1 second, they're besties grinding together against a boss. The next second, the boss is gone, and they're back to being ops. Honestly, it's just peak history. Like back on Earth during the Three Kingdoms era. If Cao Cao hadn't started the Battle of Red Cliffs, Shu and Wu would have been throwing hands with each other anyway. But because they had a common enemy, the alliance was forced to hold. As soon as the heat died down, they went straight back to catching bodies. Right now, Nunshawa is the literal swing vote. Whichever side she picks, that side is getting the instant W. Yuan Feng and Tongji are both throwing hands, while low-key side-eyeing Nüwa, because nobody knows if she's just here to watch the drama, or if she's going to step in and wreck someone. We started with 1 million birds. Now we're down to 500k. That's a massive L. And the 5 million strong Beast Army? down to 500k too. Talk about a brutal K/D ratio. The casualty count is mostly on the Chaos Ancestor for interfering. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been cooked this hard, this fast. Tongji realizes he's losing the grind, so he's ready to Alt 4 and bounce. His beast army is basically fodder compared to Yuan Feng's elites. Yuan Feng's bird army is literally built different straight elite units. Plus, Tongji knows he's getting outstatted by Yuan Feng anyway, and he's already taking damage across the board. Retreat! Tongji screams, his voice cutting through the chaos of the battlefield like a Discord notification. The remaining beast army gets the order, and they start mauling and running for their lives. But the bird army isn't letting them off the hook. They're chasing them down like a hungry pack. Honestly, there's no way the beasts are escaping. They're getting diffed on mobility alone. But seeing Tongji almost make his escape, Yuan Feng realizes he's 100% committed to the sprint. She knows landing the kill is going to be a grind, but she's still chasing that loot. Just then, out of nowhere, a red hydrangea ball flies in at Mach speed and clocks Tongji right in the forehead. Bro got absolutely dunked on. Tongji was locked in, giving his 100% to take down Yuan Feng. He was busy throwing hands with her, fighting for his life. But little did he know, Nukawa was just lurking in the bushes like a true menace, waiting for the perfect moment to sneak attack. Tongji had zero awareness. He got absolutely smacked in the forehead by that red hydrangea artifact, and his soul just deleted itself. Game over, skill issue. This is why you need top-tier loot, people. Having a legendary weapon is a literal cheat code. Without that red hydrangea OP item, actually wiping out a boss like Tongji would have been a total nightmare. Yuan Feng was standing there stunned, looking at the dead Beast King like, wait, what just happened? She turns to Nüwa and goes, yo fam, why'd you help me out? Nüwa hits her with the most mid-NPC tier excuse. The Beast Clan is out here catching L's and ruining the vibes of the Honghuang realm. They're out here making everyone's lives miserable. We gotta do our part to clear the server of these trash mobs. Honestly, the Beast Clan was already cooked by fate. Nukawa wasn't about to side with a dying faction. Like, who wants to be on the losing team? That's just being an L-taker. Sure, the Dragon, Phoenix, and Keelan clans are gonna fall off eventually, but that's a next season problem. Right now, the Phoenix clan is at their peak. Might as well network and keep the vibes positive instead of making unnecessary ops. Yuan Feng glided over to Nüwa, flashing a smile. For real, big thanks for the assist, bestie. Haven't caught your name yet though? See, Yuan Feng is usually the coldest, most don't talk to me boss type. Normally she's super serious, strictly business, zero smiles, but when she smiled just now, it hit like the first day of spring, like a literal glow up that lit up the whole area. Nüwa just nodded back. Nüwa goes, you know, you're actually a 10 out of 10 when you smile. You should do it more often. FR. The name's Nüwa. Just an innate being born from Mount Buzzhao, no big deal. Yuan Feng was shook. Not because of Nüwa's backstory, but because of that smooth, teasing energy. She was low-key flustered, okay? If anyone else had said that to her, Yuan Feng would have gone full rage mode. Even if the Ancestral Dragon or the Water Queen had the audacity to talk to her like that, she'd have thrown hands on sight. That's just straight-up disrespect to the Phoenix Queen, and she doesn't play that. But with Nüwa? For some reason, Yuan Feng just couldn't bring herself to get triggered. She played it cool. You're funny, Nüwa. Can't believe an innate being from Honghuang just popped up out of nowhere. Yuan Feng had heard rumors that these super buff innate beings were still in the middle of leveling up, and that the process usually takes forever. These guys are basically the devs' favorites, spawned in with a high-tier setup that us mortals can only dream of. Keep it a buck, Yuan Feng actually felt some type of way about these innate beings. Low-key jealous and hostile. Which makes sense, right? It's like watching some gifted child on Earth just breeze through life while you had to grind for everything. She was all about that grind set, becoming a straight-up mogul while clowning on those trust-fund Nepo babies. Yuan Feng was out here thinking, these heavenly-born NPCs think they're special just because they spawned with better stats? Please stay pressed. But after hanging with Nüwa today, yeah, Yuan Feng's starting to realize these heavenly-born baddies might actually be built different. Nüwa just shook her head like, I'm not even trolling, girl. You look absolutely stunning when you smile. Yuan Feng's inner monologue. Wait, is this random goddess actually flirting with me? Do I get pressed? Should I be offended? Honestly, she couldn't even stay mad. She hit back with, Nüwa, bestie, you're looking like a total celestial snack yourself. We're basically twins. Imagine two of the most OP goddesses in the entire primordial realm just vibing and complimenting each other's glow up. Unheard of, FR. Because in this world, everyone's obsessed with raw power. They think looks are just an empty skin suit that doesn't matter. I mean, look at the sages later on. They could easily pull a glow up and look like high-key K-pop idols. Super handsome and young, but UNCs like Laozi and Yuanqi Tianzun? They choose to walk around looking like dusty, bearded NPCs. It's a total vibe check. They think the crusty old man aesthetic fits their prestigious brand. Nüwa shouldn't even care about looks. But here we are. Turns out, those tiny snippets of Wang Shu's memories from Earth are low-key warping her worldview. Even if it's just a little bit, Earth culture is straight up obsessed with the drip and the looks. So yeah, Nüwa's been influenced by that internet brain rot, and now she's a total aesthetics girly. As for Yuan Feng, she's just playing along with the vibe, which is how we ended up in this bizarre conversation. The truth is, Nüwa's personality is already deviating from her OG canon timeline. Between those Earth memories and her enlightenment on the Dabo of Darkness, she's basically having a total character arc. I mean, it's only natural, right? Different experiences equal a different vibe. Even regular mortals change from their cringe teen years to their get-off-my-lawn old age. People are just a product of their trauma and experiences. Your personality isn't hard-coded at birth. It's just a vibe shift based on what you've been through. Nüwa hits her with a smile, calm as can be. If you're down, Yuan Feng, let's be besties. Yuan Feng realizes Nüwa's smile is actually cracked like dangerously cute and mesmerizing. Wait, why am I thinking like this? Get it together, girl. Yuan Feng yeets those weird thoughts into the void and replies, say less. I'm down. Suddenly, yo, Feng ancestor. We absolutely clapped the beast army led by the Island of Crags. Total W. Qing Luan returns, leading 500,000 avian soldiers like a total boss. Qing Luan is one of the top 3 big boss elders under Yuan Feng. The other 2, Bai Feng and Huang Juxiao, are still out there, speedrunning the cleanup of the remain. The Beast Emperor is officially deleted, and now it's time to secure the W and build that rep. The dragons, phoenixes, and killins are out here sweating, speedrunning the elimination of all the leftover trash mobs. Yo, fall back to the undying volcano. The ancestor and Taoist Nüwa have some business to attend to. This Nüwa homie just helped me wipe out the ops, so from now on, she's an honorary VIP of the Phoenix clan. Don't you forget it. Yuan Feng drops the decree for the entire bird army, officially vouching for Nüwa as a real one. Bet, ancestor. We out. Qing Luan gives a quick nod to Nüwa and leads the feathered squad to dip. Nüwa was low-key shook that Yuan Feng was giving her this much respect. Honestly, she's actually a total gigachad with a straight-up personality. Nüwa's respect meter for Yuan Feng just went up a few levels. Now it's just Nüwa, Yuan Feng, and a literal mountain of L-taking corpses left at West Kunlun. Yuan Feng asks, so what's the move? Where to next? Nüwa eyes the garing metal energy in the distance and says, I'm trying to check out that unhatched primordial creature. Yuan Feng is confused. Bro, it's literally just an egg. Why you thirsty for an unborn NPC? Nüwa gives her a look. Yuan Feng homie, you seriously don't know why that Chaos Ancestor clown pulled up to West Kunlun? Yuan Feng realizes Nüwa knows the secret sauce, so she's like, hey, spill the tea. Nüwa goes all mysterious. That Chaos guy is trying to main character energy absorb that unborn creature to boost his own stats. Yuan Feng isn't slow. She immediately clocks that absorbing a primordial creature is basically an instant cheat code for power. She nods slowly. Oh, I see where this is going. Nüwa side-eyes Yuan Feng and hits her with the facts. Look, your origins aren't the purest. If you absorbed that unborn primordial entity, you'd literally get a massive glow-up. Yuan Feng shuts that down instantly. Absorbing a defenseless egg? Nah, your ancestor here doesn't roll like that. I don't do op behavior. Nüwa nods, satisfied. Based. Truly the Yuan Feng I know. Plus, it's not even that simple to absorb a primordial being anyway. That Chaos Clown is definitely overestimating his own IQ. Primordial creatures have literal plot armor from the heavens themselves. If they were that easy to snack on, then we wouldn't have guys like Shuang King, Dijun, or Tai Yi out here running the meta. They'd all have been eaten for breakfast already. Yuan Feng is still sus. Wait, then why did you even bait me to absorb it? Just a vibe check, bestie. Just testing your character. Nüwa gently brushes Yuan Feng's long, fire-red hair. Honestly, that glow is blinding. That iconic red hair? Yeah, that's Yuan Feng's signature.